Alright, hello again. I'm back. I've shaved everything. I used to have a beard and hair, but it's summer and it's getting hot, so I'm done with that for now. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I'm going to be talking about a profile of an imbalance of meaning. So, this should be very familiar to a lot of you. Alright? So, and it's a notepad, so forgive that. So profile name Tammy. Let's call her Tammy. So she is a receptionist at a vet clinic. So she works, her husband works, they have a kid. This is just standard people, right? Her mother is a widow who lives alone. This woman has treated her badly her whole life, but she goes out of her way to take care of her. Tammy does, because no one else can. So looking at that scenario, she is willing to take on abuse, right, from her mother, her abusive mother, her ungrateful mother, because that was the only way she could have a relationship with her mother growing up. Now she is tired. She feels taken advantage of. She wants to spend more time with her husband and kids, but she can't give up doing things for her mother because she needs it to feel okay. Not just to avoid guilt, because she gets shamed anyway for not doing enough or not doing it right. It's because she is addicted to the meaning it gives her. So that should be familiar. She has never been alone. She has always put herself in a position where she's taking care of something. So it's like a pathology that moves through her life. The animals at the vet, her kid, her husband at home. Even when she used to have friends, she was always helping them move or talk about their problems all the time. Always available, always on call, right? Just going out of her way to make herself useful to other people, right? This is an imbalance of meaning. From a young age, she had no time for herself, to develop as a person with a distinct will, to learn to understand what the world means to that individual. So her life began with an imbalance of peace, right? So she never developed her own wants, her own needs, her own looking around at the world and seeing things through her own lens, right? She saw it through other people, like their needs, their wants and needs. Alright, let's see. This meant that she had to learn to be a servant to others, being taken advantage of at work, things like staying late, working extra hard, but not demanding any recognition in return, becoming an imbalance of power because she can't manifest her own will in life. So if you have one imbalance, it's usually more, you know. Otherwise, it's just a technique that you're not doing, you know. So this also creates an imbalance of power in her life. And in conclusion, wait, did I read that? Yeah, I read that. Okay, in conclusion, so we all know Tammy, and some of us are or have been her. I was a Tammy. I understand this. I used to go out of my way to try and make myself useful to other people. I defined my whole existence that way. You know? If you're a Tammy right now, if your life is out of balance, and you're desperate to feel better, to get rid of all that pain, stress, and shame, there is a way out, and it works every time as long as you don't stray from the path. This is foolproof. This is the way. And it works off a framework that I'll kind of like link to later, but it's also on my channel, and I wrote a book. Or ish. It's like 2 pages, it's $1. Anyway, step 1, isolation. You need to establish boundaries in order to set aside time for yourself. This will be hard and stressful because the people who feel entitled to your time and energy won't want to let you have any back. But you have to be strong and know that you deserve it because everyone deserves their own time and their own energy first. The best way to spend your isolation is to get outside somewhere where there's plants and dirt. And as few people as possible, and just go for a walk once or twice a week. Something simple, you know. It's not monumental, it's just simple. It's just a couple of things, maybe 45 minutes here, 45 there, throughout a whole week for you. You can listen to music, a podcast, a book, or just be present as you are. These things are what you chose for yourself, without input or judgment. So they help build your identity, right? Because you chose them for yourself. This is you taking agency in your own life to do. This is what you want to do, just completely separate from anyone else, right? Where did I stop? Physical activity is life-affirming as well. So unless you are already really active at work, maybe you're on your feet all day, right? This or exercise is the way to go, right? Now, if you are on your feet all day, if you're exhausted, just too much work, then it might be better just to do something like a hobby, something really chill. Just go sit at a bench or something. Have a meal by yourself at a park, something like that. Step 2, gain power. So let's say you took time for yourself, right? You're kind of learning who you are without other people taking it away from you. Gain power. The biggest thing that differentiates your unhealthy relationships from healthy ones, right, is what you have to offer. If you only have yourself and your service, you're only going to find people to connect with who want to be served, who take advantage of you, right? Because that's all you have to offer. Like, what are your options, right? Who would want to be around you, kind of thing. Maybe you have a great personality, but like you don't have your own will yet. You don't have your own thing you're bringing to the table. If you have power, and this can be resources or a more desirable kind of service, the kind that is mutually beneficial, like being good at a hobby or specialized work skill, right? Like there's substance to you. There's something that you bring that other people want to take part of, because they like you, or you have something they need, that's just really helpful. Like you work at a law firm or something, you do some kind of specialized trade that they need. So your relationship with them could be contractual, but they still like you because you're there for them, It doesn't always have to be just straight up like, I'm here because you pay me. It's like having a lawn guy. Like, that's my lawn guy. That's Tim or whatever. That's your person. That's your relationship with them is they're doing their lawn business, which is a cool thing, right? And you're supporting that by giving them money, and that's a pretty good relationship, to be honest. Just all goodwill. But if you don't have something like that to offer, like, you're not really bringing much to the table. Like, you get it. You kind of get what I'm getting at here. Here, let's see. Mutually beneficial, like being good at a hobby or specialized work skill. You can get the leverage to choose who you connect with and the terms of that relationship. So you have more. So you can choose how that is spent, right? So like to have a relationship with someone who's just a user, to where the thing you're bringing to the table is just yourself, your energy, your time, those might not be valuable enough to say like, hey, I can only go and help you on Tuesday with whatever thing you do for them, right? They want you Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the more specialized you are, like the more you have, the harder it is for them to say, oh, well, fine, don't even bother, because you're harder to replace. Connect with a relationship. The healing cycle starts at peace, moves through power, and ends at meaning. You can live a happy, fulfilling life, and it starts here. If this resonates with you, if it helped you, like, share, and subscribe to spread this message and help more people. And if you'd like to know more and want to support my work, buy my ebook, Aspects of a Person, where I go over this framework in detail. I wrote this intending it to be the intro to a journal, so it works best that way. So yeah, I wrote like a 2-page framework that goes over the relationship between power, meaning, and peace, that I just kind of went over through, like I put Tammy through that framework. and it describes more of the states, gives a little more detail on the framework itself, and sets you up to kind of work on yourself. So maybe check that out. But thank you for your time, and I really do hope this, if you're a Tammy, I hope this helps you. I hope that you can kind of inform your own process, at least if you're not going to do exactly what I say. I hope that you understand your situation a little bit better. Maybe you understand other people a little bit better. But either way, you should have self-respect, and you deserve it. So go get it. Bye.